Hi everyone, this is a quick tutorial on Flipgrid and how it can be used inside of your classroom. When you go to the website, first thing you'll want to do is go through the educator sign up process found over here on the right hand side. Once you click on side of this button, you'll need to sign up with Google. That'll be the easiest method for you. That way it will be linked through your Clovis account. So once you do that, then you'll select the appropriate account. You may have to go through the process where it says allow Flipgrid to access your Google information, which you agree to. Then it puts you inside of an open area called the discussion area. Now notice mine already has some items inside of here. And so I just wanted you to see that yours may be blank. Mine is already set up, so you'll see some differences there. Once you initially establish it, just knowing a couple of different terminologies you'll see used inside of the site. One is groups. Groups are your classes. I suggest you break it up by class period. And then topics are lessons or the individual activities that you assign. By grouping students by class period, it really helps sort your videos much better. When I first began this program, I just had one group and I had all my students in there, and it got very chaotic and unorganized. So this might help you keep organized by putting them in by their separate class periods. So to do that, you would want to go over here to create a group. When you click on it, you want to make sure that when you keep it private, that way your videos will also stay private. You want to name it. So for example, this is going to be period 7 for me. It will prompt a code for you. If you don't like that code, you can change it, but honestly, that's not what I generally use for them to join. I use a different method. So you can keep it or leave it. I generally leave it alone. And then you want to leave student email selected. It's pre-selected for you, but you want to leave it like that. Please do not do student username. This will be the easiest method to get your kids on board. Click next. When it says add emails, you do not need to upload every student email to this. Instead, you simply put in at cusdstudent.com. Whoops, I can't do that very well, sorry. At cusdstudent.com. Now notice it's white, but when I press enter, it adds that domain. So any student who has an account or an email account with that domain, cusdstudent.com, they can join your group much easier. You do not need a guest password. You simply click next. Now, I already have assignments ready to go, meaning I've already had my groups established. I've created assignments. So this is prompted for me. You probably will not see this unless you have assignment already created. So most of you will either not see the screen or you press skip for now. This is my individual class code. So it's the same one that was prompted before, but the way I share it is through Google Classroom. So I simply click the share to Google Classroom icon and post it inside of there for my students to join my particular group. Now from there, I'm going to cancel that out and I'm going to go back to the main screen. Let's take a look at once you have something established. So if I go into my first period, they had one assignment. It was the Rube Goldberg machine. So this is listed by assignment first. Then it tells me how many responses that I have inside of there. With this program, I will tell you that sometimes students get a little bit nervous about their submissions, meaning it doesn't feel too finalized when they actually click the submit button. There's not really a big email confirmation, you submitted it, because they can't see that it went through. They're just told they were successful. So sometimes students will submit the same video a couple of times because they're a little bit nervous that it went through. So just be prepared for that. Once you go inside of the assignment, you'll see that it's broken down. And the way they have it pre-sorted is by submission date and time. So, and it's always in the order of who submitted it the latest. So this child right here, he was the last one to submit on that particular date. It does not timestamp it, I will tell you that, but it does date stamp. For grading purposes, if you would rather sort them, you can. You can do it by last initial, first name, or you could do it the reverse if you wanted to as well, meaning you've changed the ascending order to descending order. So it's totally up to you. So as you want to rearrange it, you can. Every time you come back in, though, it will have it pre-sorted by the last person who turned in a video. To view a video, you simply click on that student's name, and you'll see they pop up. You've got a pause button down here. You can replay the video if you want to, and then when you're finished watching this video, over here to the right, previews the next student who is coming up. So you can advance to the next student without having to go back to the actual assignment. So you can just advance through them. Additionally, if you look beside here, you'll see you've got some buttons over here. Notice this red all the way down. That means all of my videos are currently hidden, meaning the other students cannot see them right now. When I'm ready, I can simply click the down arrow and I can make it active. When I make it active, now every student can see each other's video. I can also share the video. So if I have some exemplars that I want to share with a colleague for something they could use to share with their classes to show maybe what an example of a submission should look like, you could do that or share with your students. Then you also have some action buttons over here. The only one that I find that I might use once in a while is if a student has duplicated a response, meaning they have 2 videos in here, I might go in and just delete that individual response so that instead of having 2, I only have 1. You can also click over here on the left-hand side with the checkbox, go under your actions, and you can delete it there as well. There's some other different types of actions you can complete. I can't speak for all of them because I haven't really used them a lot, but they are there for you to explore. Okay, so that's pretty much what it looks like. Now let's just say you want to create an assignment just so you can kind of see what that looks like. Okay, so if I wanted to create an assignment, I would be back over here in this area. And it depends. Most of the time, I actually do it from the individual class period, and then I duplicate the assignment to my other class periods. But if I wanted to create a new topic, what I could do is go over here to add a topic inside of my individual class period. This is where I would add my title for my students to see, any type of description about what they're going to be doing, a writing prompt, a response to reading, any type of assignment that you have, the description would go inside of here. Time, my caution to you is this. I actually am very careful and strategic about the amount of time that I provide them. Most of the time, I assign things that either take between 30 seconds to possibly up to a minute, because what you need to keep in mind is at this point right now, most of your Flipgrids will be individual, which means if you're donating 1 minute and 30 seconds to every student and you have over 100 students, it can get time consuming. So make sure you're very concise on the objective that you have the students complete and that you're aware of the amount of time that it would take. Most students function really well, anywhere between 30 seconds to 1 minute. Very rarely do we need to go over that, unless maybe it's more group orientated. The other thing that I always turn on is topic moderation, meaning this is the part where the videos stay hidden until I am ready to release them. If you leave it off, students can see each other's submissions right away without any moderation. I choose this because in case I have a student who is not exhibiting good digital citizenship, I can catch that video before it goes out. Oh, one other side note, just so you guys are aware, because this is a private group, the videos that the students submit are not on necessarily or accessible to public view unless a student actually shares the video themselves, like meaning they somehow show it to a friend or a parent or whatever. Generally speaking, most people on the internet cannot search for these kids' videos and access them, so it is privatized pretty well. The other thing is there's some media resources if you need to upload anything to your assignment. And then there are a few other options that you can access. I do not set a custom topic access, meaning I don't add any more access to it. I actually restrict a lot of it so that I only get my particular students. That's why I put it on Google Classroom so that only members can come in. I put in the @cusdstudent.com, so only if you have that type of email address can you get in. Keep it very restricted to protect the actual site a lot better. And then of course any additional attachments that you have, if you want to make your topic inactive for a while or hide it until you're ready to show the kids, then you can schedule it here. And let's see, the other thing I wanted to show you, there's a couple of other features, but down in here, just again, some experience with myself. Others have had different experiences. I limit selfies because I feel like right now they're at a stage where they like the silly stuff and not so much the serious. So when I teach that digital citizenship piece and they learn how to take professional selfies and more of a student-based approach, then I start opening up that feature a little bit better. But until they learn that control feature, it helps keep the silly down. I also do not allow a lot of comments in the very beginning because, again, students commenting back and forth on each other's videos, they can be a little bit more destructive instead of constructive. So until I've taught that digital piece of citizenship, I limit to that as well. I do allow them to edit the video. I do allow any external attachments. I rarely get them, but once in a while you might need it. I don't generally, the likes, it's up to you. It's whether or not, some kids are fixated on that, others are not. And I do keep the view count up to see how many views that the particular video is getting. And sticky notes, I usually turn off because, again, I feel like it's not really necessary for me and what I'm doing, but you might find it useful. And then other than that, I leave everything the same. And then I click Create Topic. Okay, so for myself, this is just a sample, so I'll click Cancel and come out of it. But I wanted you to see what it looked like to actually go through the process and create that topic ready to go out. So that's pretty much it. That's the most of it. I have also an attached document that can go inside of your Google Classroom that you can share with your students that shows them how to add videos. I will leave you with one cautionary tale. Students who record on an iPhone and save their video as a .mov file will need to go through a file conversion process. So any student who records their video, because you can do that, you don't have to use Flipgrid to record your video. You could use like an iPhone or an external camera somehow. But if you choose to do that, the kids will need to convert their file over from a .mov file to one that's accepted by Flipgrid, and they're told inside of the upload area where to do that. So again, that's just my only cautionary tale. It hasn't been a huge deal. They can go right online and convert the file. It takes like 20 seconds. It's no big deal, but just something you might want to share with them ahead of time. In case they're having problems uploading, tell them to check the type of file. If it's a .mov, then they need to convert it over to a file that is accepted by Flipgrid. Okay? All right. Hope you have a great day, and I hope this helps.